sit down. It's a challenge finding somewhere to talk to you where I can actually read this rather than be blinded by the lights. So, Lord Lieutenant, Colonel Ash, ladies and gentlemen, welcome this evening. Thank you for joining us. My name is Captain Ian Robinson. I'm the chairman of the RFCA, that's the Reserve Forces and Cadets Association for Yorkshire and the Humberside. And we've got great pleasure of welcoming you all here this evening. We're here this evening to publicly acknowledge and celebrate the service and contribution of reservists, of cadet adult volunteers, and employers who support them and release them to enable them to do their work. Behind the scenes of the reserves and the cadets, the RFCA, the Reserve Forces and Cadets Association, supports the units in Yorkshire and the Humber. We provide buildings, we provide transport, we help recruit adult volunteers for the cadet organisation, and we support employers, we support reservists as they deploy and as they return, and we have a general eye on the welfare of reserves and cadets in the region. Cadet forces are absolutely flourishing. Tonight we're acknowledging the contribution of a number of instructors who enable that to happen. Crucially important, I think, when you see what the cadets do, and you see that the contribution that they make to society in the county, then I think we can all positively say that big society is here already. We didn't need to invent it again. It's here in spades with the cadet forces. In terms of the volunteer reserves, despite often the bad press that we receive, or reservists receive, the contribution they're making on deployment to operations is absolutely fantastic. And people are still joining. People want to volunteer. And the fact that so many people are here tonight shows what support they get behind the scenes. And thank you for coming to make that public acknowledgement. I will shut up and we'll get on with the evening. I'm sure everybody will enjoy the evening. When I sit down in a moment, we will have a band to start the proceedings off. And we'll have a good evening. Thank you very much indeed again for joining us.
Ready? On parade. Rolls. 1, 2.
Army Cadet Force Band. Each year in the Reserve Forces and Cadets Association's area, the Lord Lieutenants of the East Riding considers nominations for the Lord Lieutenant Certificate for members of the Reserve Forces, Cadet Forces and supportive civilian staff who have given exceptional service beyond the normal call of duty. The Lord Lieutenant Certificate is an award of merit of which the recipient may be justly proud. It is intended to supplement honours bestowed by Her Majesty the Queen in the New Year's and Birthday Honours list and in President's ranks after each such award. Lord Lieutenant. First recipient, Major O'Connell. Major O'Connell has contributed significantly to the operational capability of both 150 Yorkshire Transport Regiment Royal Logistics Corps and 12 Logistics Support Regiment Royal Logistics Corps in the last 12 months. He volunteered as a rear party commander for a 6-month married unaccompanied deployment to Germany with 12 Logistics Support Regiment. During their operational deployment, not content with merely acting as a caretaker, he immediately set to work in the regiment's absence. Not one to shy away from commitment, he upgraded old, tired, single living accommodation and then undertook extensive work with the warrant officers, sergeants and officers' messes. Additionally, he returned the regiment's fleet to a fit and roadworthy state, tirelessly encouraging the depleted rear party to ensure the vehicles were overhauled and maintained to an exemplary standard. On returning to the United Kingdom, Major O'Connell energised the operational training for Operational Herrick 17 for 150 Yorkshire Transport Regiment. During a very turbulent time due to the vacancies and a number of key irregular appointments, Major O'Connell's approach typifies the man. He covered the role of both the training major and the regimental training warrant officer without fuss or complaint, instantly seizing upon the commanding officer's intent and driving it through. His professional influence was felt around the regiment immediately, particularly in the regimental headquarters, where his support for the commanding officer was exemplary. Overseeing all the facts of the training major, Major O'Connell's vast experience enabled him to energise soldiers and deliver a successful over the following months. He used his enthusiasm, adept organisational skills and wider contact plans, resources to deliver a coherent training programme with significant results. At once he laid the foundations for the regiment's first operational focused annual deployment exercise for several years. Simultaneously, he also ensured that 75 soldiers were selected for deployment on Operation Herrick and missions, and a significant achievement in several resources-constrained environment, despite being employed on an additional duties commitments 4 days a week. Major O'Connell was always available on a weekend or Wednesday's drill nights to ensure all aspects of training were delivered to a high standard. Major O'Connell is unique within the Reserve Forces. He has laid the foundations for and followed through a level of operational training and subsequent logistic support that will ensure soldiers of 150 Yorkshire Transport Regiment will deploy more highly trained, qualified and therefore safer on operations in 2012 than ever before. In light of his dedication, utter professionalism, unwavering commitment, loyalty and support to soldiers serving 2 regiments, Major O'Connell is awarded the Lord Lieutenant's Certificate. Barr. Captain Barr joined the Army Cadet Force as an adult instructor following regular service in the 1970s on enlistment and was a keen and enthusiastic member of the Sutton and Driffield detachment. Prior to joining the ACF, Captain Barr was involved in the running and organisation of several Brownie and guide packs, and was also the guide leader training in BAOR, and this experience was to stand her in good stead when she joined the ACF. Between 1998 and 2006, she held various appointments in Hull together with B Company Headquarters, commanding the Signals Detachment, including entry cadets in national signals competitions and running BTEC for the cadets in the county. The success she has enjoyed across the last 6 years has been most impressive, and this is entirely due to her determination to succeed with the cadets and the enthusiasm she brings to this role. When she regularly tops the leaderboard with the number of cadets both participating and achieving BTEC in public services and music, both of which are equivalent to 4 GCSEs. In addition to her role as County BTEC officer, she was also appointed as adjutant whilst attending annual camp, and the pressures is intensive and constant for 2 weeks over the period. Captain Barr has just the right approach, and when dealing with the cadets at camp or communicating with their parents and guardian, as is often the case, where solutions are required for the youngsters away from home. In this role, she is invaluable, and the appointment fits extremely well with her being able to sell BTEC to the cadets whilst they are effectively a captive audience on camp. In addition, she also gained the licenseship in youth leadership and training in 2008. She also enjoyed the appointment as the county recruiting training officer, which gave her the additional headquarter duties and increased her awareness of the command responsibilities. She was promoted to captain in 2004 and has attended many courses including King George VI Memorial and Company Commander's course at Frimley Park Cadet Training Centre, together with specialist signal courses run at Blandford. She was awarded the Cadet Force Medal in July 2010 and the Special BTEC Award at Otterburn in July 2007. Captain Barr is fully deserving of the award of the Lord Lieutenant Certificate for her devotion to duty with the Army Cadet Force. Staff Sergeant Instructor John Sims. Staff Sergeant John Sims joined the Army Cadet Force in 1994 as an adult instructor, having served for 7 years as a regular soldier with the Royal Artillery, followed by 9 years service with 300 Squadron Home Service Force. Staff Sergeant Sims commenced his Army Cadet Force career at the Humberside Signals Detachment, where he stayed for some time building his experience as a signals instructor. On 2 occasions, he commanded the detachment very successfully in the absence of an officer, remaining a stalwart at the unit, which he is highly skilled unit specialist in the development of signals at the cadets in Hull. For some 13 years, often stepping up as the county regimental signals officer and also as the regimental signals warrant officer. And these appointments were vacant. In 2000, he was promoted to staff sergeant and has completed many of the development courses on offer for adult instructors, including the Advanced Signals Instructors course. In 2007, Staff Sergeant Sims was appointed Company Quartermaster Sergeant, a critical position within the company ensuring that the companies were supplied with all the equipment, rations, ammunition, and the myriad of detail which is required to fulfil its training requirements. In 2010, he was posted to the Highlands Detachment as Officer Commanding. Since that time, he has successfully rejuvenated the fortunes of that unit. The cadets are given every opportunity to develop and achieve in a wide range of subjects, and he encourages them to participate in all military training and subjects such as the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, BTECs in Public Services and First Aid. Staff Sergeant Sims is fully deserving of the award Lord Lieutenant Certificate for his devotion to duty with the Army Cadet Force. Philip Stillman. Colour Sergeant Philip Stillman has been an adult member of the Army Cadet Force since September 2000, following service as a cadet. He has served at several detachments in the rural East Yorkshire, all of which have been challenging appointments due to the distance from home and the issues surrounding recruitment and retention in the more remote locations of the county. As a young instructor at Howden Detachment, he learned quickly of the needs for constant recruitment and to ensure the cadets in the detachment were given as many opportunities as possible to participate in fun and challenging achievements, all activities which he took part in to encourage cadets to do similarly. After a spell at Howden and Barr, he was appointed as detachment commander at Pocklington, one of the potential flagship detachments, but one which by its location is often difficult to staff. He has taken the bull by the horns, and for the first command has given it 110%, ensuring that his cadets do not miss out on any training or other opportunities. The detachment is busy, and one of the cadets are regularly involved with community events and engagement in and around Pocklington. During this period, he has ensured he has kept abreast of all training developments and has attended all the courses necessary, including up to King George VI Memorial Course at Frimley Park Cadets Training Centre, and he was promoted to Colour Sergeant in September 2011. Colour Sergeant Stillman is fully deserving of the award of Lord Lieutenant Certificate for his selfless devotion to duty with the Army Cadet Force. Sergeant Instructor Sean McBride. Sergeant Sean McBride has been an adult member of the Army Cadet Force since April 1997, following service in the Territorial Army with the 2nd Battalion, the Yorkshire Volunteers, between 1981 and 1988. He has served at detachments in rural East Yorkshire, mainly at Bridlington, where he has been the mainstay of the unit, providing cover for the cadets. As a new instructor, he was keen to learn as much as possible and put his newfound knowledge into practice to the benefit of the cadets at his detachment. As a detachment instructor, his contribution has not always been recognised. However, his steady influence in the unit has seen many of the newer and younger detachment commanders benefit from his advice, steady influence and common sense. The Army Cadet Force could not function without dedication and commitment of instructors like Sergeant McBride. He has given a great deal of time and energy to the detachment in Bridlington and enriched the lives of countless youngsters who have passed through the doors on their way to success in many fields. The encouragement and assistance he has given to the cadets in Bridlington is not easily measurable, but has been recognised and noted by his chain of command for some time now. During his service, he has completed many additional training courses to ensure he has been able to offer even more to the ACF, and this included obstacle course supervisor, health and safety at work courses, and in addition, outside the ACF, he has completed a certificate in management in health and social care organisations. During this period, he has ensured that he has kept abreast of training developments and has attended courses at Frimley Park Cadet Training Centre, together with internal and county training courses. He was awarded the Cadet Forces Medal in April 2006, and Sergeant McBride is fully deserving of the award of the Lord Lieutenant Certificate for his selfless devotion to duty with the Army Cadet Force. Squadron Leader Hanrahan. Squadron Leader Hanrahan has been a member of the Air Force, the Air Training Corps, for 14 years. He joined the Air Cadets following military service in the Royal Air Force Regiment, and his service training has been a great asset to the squadrons he has worked with and the Central and East Yorkshire Wing in general. He has been at the forefront of shooting training as a senior instructor with the North Regional Small Arms Training Team and as the Wing Shooting Officer. With his experience and knowledge of the Royal Air Force and the Corps, he has produced excellent results as both Scarborough and Driffield squadrons. He has always put the cadets first, and this is shown not only by his squadron and the wing activities, but also by the fact that he has attended over 30 camps, both at RAF stations and at adventurous training establishments. He leads by example and is a prolific in support of cadets and offering all that he can in the way of activities and opportunities for them. He is an eager, hard-working member of staff with many skills, including through knowledge of adventurous training and shooting. Squadron Leader Hanrahan epitomises all that is best in our supervisory staff by setting and maintaining high personal standards. He works tirelessly for his squadron and for the wing in general, and invariably subordinates his own interests and time to that of the Corps. From 2006 to 2011, he was carrying out the role of Wing Staff Officer and Squadron Commander at the same time, making quite a workload. It is only recently, on appointment to Sector Commander, that he has been able to concentrate on the very busy role of commanding his sector, having been relieved of command of the Driffield Squadron and the Wing Shooting Officer's role. He has done much to enhance the quality of life of hundreds of young people in the Corps over a long period of time, and in his outstanding commitment is well deserving of the lasting recognition through the award of the Lord Lieutenant Certificate. Flight Lieutenant David Waters. Flight Lieutenant David Waters has been an adult member of the Air Training Corps for 14 years. He joined the Corps as a cadet in 1979 and stayed for 4 years, after which he joined the Royal Air Force. Whilst in service, he gave of his time and experience as a service instructor at 2 squadrons for over 7 years, and on leaving the service, he took up the post as a civilian instructor at the Darlington Squadron in 1997. He has since served through the ranks to become the commanding officer of 152 City of Hull Squadron. His service experience has been a great asset to the squadron. He has worked on and to the Central and East Yorkshire Wing. He also currently holds the role of Wing Shooting Officer on top of his squadron duties. With his experience, he has produced excellent results at the Hull Squadron. He has also put the cadets first, and this is shown not only with his squadron, but with wing activities, but also by the fact that he has attended annual camps and given up many weekends to promote shooting. He leads by example and is a big support to his cadets, offering all that he can in the way of activities and opportunities for them. He is an eager and hard-working member of the staff with many skills, including a thorough knowledge of adventurous training and shooting. Flight Lieutenant Waters epitomises all that is best in our supervisory staff by setting and maintaining high personal standards. He works tirelessly for his squadron and for the wing. He has done much to enhance the quality of life of hundreds of young people in the Corps over a long period of time, and his outstanding commitment is well deserving of the lasting recognition through the award of Lord Lieutenant Certificate. Lieutenant has kindly agreed to now present certificates to our supportive employers. These certificates are awarded to employers who show commitment and support to reservists. They create no barriers to release of the volunteer reserve forces for training, and the ethos of the great work reservists perform alongside their regular counterparts. The certificate is issued in national recognition and acknowledgement of their commitment in supporting the reserves of the Armed Forces, signed and endorsed by the Secretary of State for Defence and the Chief of the Defence Staff. I'd like to invite the Lord Lieutenant to present our first certificate to Mr. Robin Petch of All Saints Junior School. All Saints Junior School have been a very supportive employer, and I'm very proud to support the Reserve Forces. Mr. Nick Stabler, the Department for Works and Pensions. The DWP in Hull have supported staff in their employ, releasing them for training and in support of operations. Mrs. Jane Richardson of Sainsbury's Supermarkets, Hessel. Hessel Sainsbury's have signed with SAFE this year to the ethos to support reservists in the workplace. They've worked very closely with the local reserve units on charitable and local issues in their Hessel area. Would you like to say a few words, Lord Lieutenant? Sorry.
I thought maybe somebody else was going to come first. I would just like to say, and I know I speak on behalf of all the civic representatives and visitors here tonight, well done, and thank you very much for what you've done. Since 2003, over 24,000 reservists have been called up and mobilised to help our regular forces. It's a great commitment that all the reservists make, those who train them and look after them, and I know we're very grateful for all they do. I see myself the marvellous work that all the cadet officers do with the children, with the young people they have with them. They really do give them a marvellous time, lots of adventures and excitement, and are turning out really good citizens for tomorrow. So thank you for all the time you give up for doing that. Thank you to all the employers. Without your help and cooperation, this wouldn't work. And I think thanks also, the most important people of all, are the families of all those involved. Because you do without your loved ones for a lot of time where they're giving up time to help others. So thank you all very much for your support.
Lord Lieutenant, sirs, ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a display by the Humberside and South Yorkshire Royal Logistics Corps Army Cadet Force Blacklight Band. Seems to have caught them a little unawares. like to call upon the Commandant for the Defence School of Training, Colonel Paul Ash, just to say a few final words.
Lord Lieutenant, lovely to see you again. Distinguished guests, I think you'd all agree that was quite spectacular. I saw that for the first time about 30 years ago when I first joined the Army, and that performance tonight was as good as I saw it then, and have seen it since conducted and delivered by many regulars. It was absolutely fantastic, so my congratulations to them. Just to first of all say, pass on my thanks to all of those involved with making tonight happen. First of all, my home team, thank you very much indeed, but more importantly to the members of the Reserve Forces and Cadets, and also to the various employees that have been mentioned already this evening. I was looking at the sign earlier, or the banner earlier on, and when it says promoting and supporting the Reserve Forces and Cadets across the region, you could possibly extend that across the region, across the country, across the regular forces and across the community. Because there is no doubt that, unlike the regular forces at the moment, the Reserve Forces is very much a growth industry. And we look very much forward to that continued support that we get from the community, from the employers and from the members of the Reserve Forces and the Cadets. Can I offer on behalf of the school my congratulations to all the recipients tonight. Excellent service, and I have to say that if you're not careful, I wouldn't mind a bit of your service within the school, particularly with regards to the accommodation and the efforts that were made earlier on. I wouldn't mind some of that assistance here. But also, as the Lord Lieutenant so rightly said, also to the families. You know, they are pretty much the unsung heroes in many occasions. So to your families, when you get home tonight or when you speak to them later, just give them an extra cuddle and a thanks, because they deserve it as much as you do. Thank you very much indeed for your attendance. Thanks very much indeed also for the support that you give the school from right across the region. I'm always very, very conscious of the fact of the number of vehicles that we put on the roads at all times of the day, but please be assured the way I look at it and the way I would invite you to look at it, if I may, is that you playing your part in delivering operational capability where it is needed and supporting the troops wherever they may be serving overseas. Thank you very much indeed. It's nice to see you all here tonight. Enough from me. I think it's now going to be right to say yes. Food?
No, just one yes.
Not quite yet, I'm sorry.
Lord Lieutenant, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem. Thank you. If you'd all like to take your seats, please. That concludes the formal part of the presentation evening. Those who are recipients, the Lord Lieutenant will kindly take photographs at the front of the auditorium. If the remainder of you would like to go through the two double doors on my right, your left, there is food being served. You're very welcome to bring it and use the tables in and around and the seating if you wish. Lord Lieutenant, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.